He lied about a penny stock worth less than $1, made millions, and only served 22 months in jail. But that wasn't even the craziest part. The craziest part is that Hollywood turned his crimes into a blockbuster. This is the story of Jordan Belfort, the man who scammed America, crashed and burned, and then got rich again telling the story. And the wildest part, people still cheer for him. Bayside, Queens 1962. A typical working-class Jewish neighborhood where dreams were modest and ambition had a ceiling. But Jordan Belfort, he had no interest in ceilings. 1 lemon ice? Here you go. 2 for the price of 1, but only if you tell 3 friends. Customer: what are you, 12? Jordan: 16. And I'm going to be rich. Why, the end of that summer, he made $20,000 selling Italian ices. At 16, most kids would have blown it on a Camaro. Jordan? He enrolled in dental school. On day 1, the dean stood up and said, "If you are here to get rich, you are in the wrong profession." Jordan stood up, nodded, and walked right out. He wasn't there to clean teeth. He was there to get rich. And this was not the path. "Ma'am, this is USDA prime beef. Flash frozen, hormone-free, and cheaper than your local butcher." Customer: "I'm a vegetarian." Jordan: "Fantastic. Let me show you our premium salmon fillets." It was messy, scrappy, but surprisingly successful. $100,000 a month in sales. No trucks, no storage, no clue, just Jordan, hustling and grinding with steaks melting in the back seat. But debt, broken trucks, and spoiled inventory caught up fast. Within months, the business went bankrupt. But in the wreckage, Jordan found something that turned out to be his superpower. The product didn't matter. Steaks, surfboards, stocks. He could sell anything to anyone. A salesman was born. Jordan didn't need a better product. He needed a better payout. Enter Wall Street. He landed an entry-level job at LF Rothschild, a legit firm with suits, quotas, and cocaine in the bathroom stalls. It was the 80 seconds, after all. Here, he got his first taste of real money, real greed, and real power. He learned how markets moved and, more importantly, how to manipulate the buyer. But then, October 1987 happened. Black Monday. The markets crashed. Phones stopped ringing. Jordan was fired the very day he became a licensed broker. While the world mourned, Jordan saw something else. Opportunity. He discovered penny stocks, pink sheet garbage that no serious broker would touch, unregulated, illiquid. But here was the magic. The commission was 50%. Same pitch, 10 times the reward. No Ivy League degree required. Just a fast phone and a faster mouth. "Hello, Mr. Michael. Listen to me. This company is tiny now, yes, but they are sitting on a piece of technology that is going to disrupt the entire home entertainment industry. I'm talking about a ground floor opportunity, pre-IPO. Wall Street hasn't even sniffed this one out yet." He painted a perfect picture. "You get in now at $1 a share, and in 6 months, you're not calling to thank me. You're calling me from your beach house in Maui. Let me lock you in for 4,000 shares. Sound good?" Customer: I don't really understand the company." Jordan: "You don't have to understand the company, sir. You just have to understand the upside. Smart money acts before the crowd. Do you want to be first? Or do you want to read about it in Forbes a year from now and say, 'God, I wish I had listened'?" $4,000 closed in a single call. No rules, no regulators, no breaks. Just cold calls and pure adrenaline. He had found his kingdom. 1,989. Jordan wasn't alone anymore. He teamed up with Danny Porush, a fast-talking, drug-snorting misfit from Long Island. Together, they built Stratton Oakmont. The name sounded prestigious, like it had a 100-year legacy and leather-bound books. In reality, it was a strip mall boiler room filled with flickering lights, mismatched desks, and zero oversight. The recruits weren't analysts. They were bartenders, dropouts, and neighborhood hustlers. Jordan taught them straight-line persuasion, a psychological pressure cooker designed to turn stammering rookies into high-pressure closing machines. He taught them to bulldoze hesitation and drown out doubt. At first, they sold to the average Joe, but then they realized rich people have more money to lose. The scheme was simple: pump and dump. Buy up blocks of cheap stock. Have the sales force hype it to the moon. Pump. When the price peaks, Jordan dumps his shares. Dump. Investors lost everything. Jordan pocketed millions. At Stratton, Oakmont, they called it another Tuesday. By the early 90s, Stratton Oakmont wasn't just a brokerage, it was a carnival. The office was a blur of screaming phones, air horns, $2,000 suits, and enough narcotics to kill a rhinoceros. Jordan built a system where fear and loyalty were currency. Top performers were treated like royalty, bonus checks, vacations, watches tossed like candy. Underperformers were humiliated and cut loose. And the parties? Strippers in the conference room, champagne overflowing into fax machines, and lines of coke snorted off compliance manuals. Jordan became a cult leader in Armani. He bought a helicopter. He named his yacht after his wife, the Nadine. He preached the same sermon every day. Success is everything, and if you're not winning, you're nothing. But when you can't sell the truth, you sell the dream. And that dream was rapidly turning into a nightmare. 1996. The FBI smelled blood. Agent Gregory Coleman began piecing together the timeline. The cold call scripts, the offshore accounts, the mules smuggling cash taped to their bodies. Inside the firm, things were rotting. Drug use went from a reward to a necessity. Jordan was popping Quaaludes like M and Miss. He once crashed his Ferrari into a pillar while high, with his 3-year-old daughter in the passenger seat. Then came the yacht incident. In June 1996, against the captain's warning, Jordan insisted they sail into a storm. He was drunk, high, and invincible. The yacht sank to the bottom of the Mediterranean. Jordan survived, but his luck didn't. By 1998, the empire collapsed. The FBI raided the building. Employees tried to swallow documents and smash hard drives, but it was too late. Facing up to 30 years in federal prison, Jordan did what he did best. He sold. Not stocks, but information. He wore a wire. He cooperated. One by one, over 30 employees, partners, and friends. People who worshipped him were handed over like receipts. Because he flipped on his friends, Jordan got just 22 months. And Jordan's prison? A minimum security facility with tennis courts and no fences. That's where he met Tommy Chong, the comedian. Jordan told him his story. Tommy laughed and said, "Write it down. That's a bestseller." So he did. In 2007, he published The Wolf of Wall Street. It wasn't an apology. It was a victory lap. No remorse. Just yachts, orgies, fraud, and punchlines. In 2013, Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio turned it into a global phenomenon. The audience ate it up. Jordan Belfort, convicted felon, became a pop culture icon. But the people he scammed, they didn't get movie deals. The teacher who lost her retirement, the war veteran who lost his life savings, they were left with nothing but debt. The court ordered Jordan to pay $110 million in restitution. To this day, only a fraction has been paid. The rest vanished into legal loopholes. Today, Jordan is a motivational speaker, a sales coach, touring the world teaching ethics and success. He wears the name The Wolf like a badge of honor, not a scar of shame. He didn't just escape justice, he sold it. He turned 22 months in jail into a multi-million-dollar brand. And maybe the scariest part? We applauded. Jordan once said, "I was greedy, but so was everybody else." Maybe that's why he got away with it. Because deep down, we never wanted him punished. We wanted to be him.